The skies above New York City darkened as storm clouds gathered, mirroring the tension that hung in the air. The world had changed. The Avengers were divided, and standing at the heart of this conflict were two men once bound by friendship: Tony Stark, the genius billionaire encased in his advanced Iron Man armor, and Steve Rogers, the super soldier known as Captain America. They had fought side by side countless times, but now, they stood as enemies, their ideologies irreconcilable. The Sokovia Accords had fractured the team, and after the events of the Civil War, the final confrontation was inevitable. Tony hovered in the air, the repulsors in his hands glowing menacingly. "Stand down, Captain. This doesn't have to end like this." Steve tightened his grip on his shield, his blue eyes filled with determination. "You know I can't do that, Tony." With a heavy sigh, Iron Man unleashed a warning shot, the energy beam slamming into the ground near Captain America's feet. The explosion sent debris flying, but Steve was already on the move, using his shield to deflect the shrapnel. He sprinted toward Tony with blinding speed, launching his shield at his former ally. Tony barely dodged the vibranium disc, his AI-assisted targeting system calculating Steve's next move. He fired a barrage of micro-missiles, but Captain America was relentless, weaving through the explosions like a phantom. With a mighty leap, Steve closed the distance and landed a thunderous punch against Tony's helmet, sending him crashing into a nearby building. Groaning, Tony recalibrated his suit, his systems working overtime to stabilize. "You're strong, Captain. But you're just a man." Steve picked up his shield. "Then let's see what this just a man can do." Iron Man rocketed forward, his fists crackling with energy as he unleashed a flurry of blows. Steve blocked and countered, his enhanced reflexes allowing him to dodge the worst of the attacks. He found an opening and bashed Tony's helmet with his shield, denting the metal. Furious, Tony activated his unibeam, the concentrated energy striking Steve square in the chest. The force sent Captain America flying backward, crashing through a car windshield. Blood dripped from his lip, but he wiped it away, standing up once more. "Stay down, Steve," Tony shouted, his voice edged with desperation. "I don't want to do this." Steve's breath was ragged, but his resolve remained unbroken. "I can do this all day." Tony gritted his teeth and charged again, but this time Steve anticipated his move. With one swift motion, he threw his shield with pinpoint precision, striking Tony's arc reactor. Sparks erupted as the power core flickered, momentarily destabilizing the suit. Seizing the moment, Steve tackled Tony, both men tumbling to the ground in a brutal grapple. Blow after blow rained down, neither warrior willing to yield. Tony's armored fists met Steve's unyielding will. Blood splattered the ground, bruises formed, yet they continued, each fighting for what they believed was right. Finally, Tony gained the upper hand, pinning Steve down. His helmet retracted, revealing eyes filled with sorrow. "Why, Steve? Why couldn't you just trust me?" Steve, battered and bruised, looked up at him with unwavering conviction. "Because freedom isn't something you sign away, Tony. It's something you fight for." A heavy silence followed. Tony's grip loosened, his anger giving way to exhaustion. He could see the truth in Steve's eyes. This wasn't about winning or losing. It was about principle. With a deep sigh, Tony stepped back, deactivating his weapons. "This isn't over," he muttered, his voice laced with regret. Steve struggled to his feet, retrieving his shield. "I know." As the storm clouds rumbled above them, the two warriors turned away, walking in opposite directions. They had both lost something in this battle: friendship, trust, and a part of themselves. The war was far from over, but for now, the fight was done.